Live view of my broadcast. Woo! Alright. It put me on the London server for some reason again, so I may have to stop this. But it's a good thing we have 9 minutes till we officially start. But hey, we are here! And we're going to be playing some stuff for Extra Life. You can check out the links at the bottom of the screen if you want to donate, join the team. It's not too late. You can start right now and be like, hey, everybody, watch me play video games for 24 hours for children's hospitals. So this is Children's Miracle Network, Extra Life 2014. I am Kibby0, and I will be streaming for 12 hours today, 12 hours tomorrow, and hopefully we will raise more money for kids as we're doing it. We're going to have some fun. I got some people that might be coming in later to do some challenges with me. And yeah, that is where we're at. So I'm going to make sure I can see the chat room. Do some testing. So, all right. So let's see if everybody can see me. All right, we got quality excellent. We've got our title set up, hide video preview, because I don't like hearing myself, especially with a 5-second delay. We've got our title set up. All right, so I've got the chat room set up so I can see it. Let's see if I can split this out. That'll make it a little bit easier. There we go. All right, so that way I can also watch other social media. And if I need to. So, yep. All right, cool. We are ready. So, our first game is going to be Minecraft. So, I have it all set up and ready to go. And we are going to be playing a winner of a competition for Feed the Beast. Let me look up the information again because I've forgotten it. This is by a guy named Parcel31U. He submitted to a Feed the Beast map competition recently and won. So this is a really good map. I've played. I haven't played all the way through it, but I played some of it, and so hopefully we will have some fun and check it out and enjoy playing it. So it's kind of a challenge map with mods from Minecraft, and we're going to try it out. So single player, we're going to name it Extra Life 2014 exclamation point. And we will start from scratch. Well, scratch as in start from the beginning of the map. And you'll see what I mean in a second if you haven't seen adventure type maps before. So load. Loading. Load. One thing to note, especially if you're looking at this in the YouTube, I will be breaking it up by about once an hour, just so that we can get my stream videos into YouTube faster, and hopefully people from YouTube will then see them and come join me here on www.twitch.tv/kibby0. So same username as I am in YouTube. I am also on Twitch. So if you are on Twitch and want to see previous videos, you can also check me out at YouTube by searching for Kibby0. I forget what their strings are for custom usernames, but yeah, check me out at YouTube and check me out here on Twitch. Either way, we are going to have some fun. So here we are in the rainy world of this laboratory sort of place. So there's already all kinds of stuff around here for us to use, and we'll go ahead and look at the story. So, welcome to Material Energy 3. If this is your first time in Spatial Energy Adventure, please refer to this guide for details. If in any case you lose this book, simply curl up in the floor and focus on breathing until you feel safe again. So yeah, there are no rules. Well, mostly no rules. Be a rebel. Really, the only rule is don't break the spatial I/O stuff. Is essentially what happens. And so basically, and try not to play on peaceful, because this really depend. A lot of the adventuring is dependent upon mobs being your main deterrent from being able to continue on, and figuring out ways to survive and get to where you need to go. So here we are in the quest book. If you haven't done much with modded survival stuff, this is a fairly new mod. It's really nice. It's a hardcore questing mod. Although this map is designed not to be, be on hardcore mode. They still use it for the questing system, which is really a really nice system. So there's kind of a little story here. Basically, there was an explosion downstairs on this on the second level of Station Alpha, and there's no way to generate power currently. But the elevator shaft is still functional, mainly because the elevator doesn't require power. Our one life sign has been reported. That's us, and they're sending this message to us that we need to bring full power online in order to power the teleporter for extraction. They will not be sending any help, so we are on our own. So let's click here to start. So there's various sections of quests. If you've probably seen this word before, if you've watched a lot of adventure maps, this idea called the Victory Monument, and we'll see that very soon. But yeah, so we'll start at the very top, Left Alone. And there's kind of this base tour, and so we'll kind of use this to kind of get you familiar with all the pieces to this this map. And I will explain all the various things as we go. So there's kind of 4 basic areas that we're going to go look at here on the first floor, the observatory. There's where the elevator is, the observatory, which is where all of the maps, essentially, that will be placed into something called Spatial I/O and Applied Energistics, which is the mod. Chemistry set, which is from Minechem. And then the machine area, which is a lot of stuff from... I forget what the mod's called, so let's go there first. I have, what am I looking at the mod on? So thermal expansion. So there's a bunch of thermal expansion machines here. And a water tank and stuff. So if we do get materials that we can process, smelt, and whatever, we already have the machines for it. And we kind of look around here. Oh man, that rain is really loud. Yeah, let's move away from that rain. So we got thermal expansion stuff, and if we look at our quest book, we have visited the machine area. So let's visit the elevator next. So the elevator is the open blocks elevator. So the elevator, basically, if I press shift, I will head down. If I press space, I will head up. So that is there. We'll be heading down in a moment, so we don't necessarily have to head over there. So we visited the elevator. Time to visit the observatory. So the observatory is using a system called Applied Energistics, and these spatial pylons. And basically what it does is it transfers data in a giant cube to actually retrieve and place blocks in this giant hole in the ground. So essentially, eventually, pretty soon we'll get disks that will place into a port over here. Right here, and when we place it in, it will transfer its contents into here, or if we place an empty one in here, it will load the contents in here over to the disk. So yeah, we have that's the observatory. Now let's go check out the chemistry set. Chemistry set is probably going to be one of the first things we use, and one of the main things that we'll need to concentrate on. I'm going to kind of drop the sound again because that rain is really, really annoying. So, actually, let's keep it up to 50. And what we can do is, I think they left. Yeah, they did. So, toggle downfall, turn off the rain. Alright, so we've got a chemistry set here, and a empty leadstone energy cell from thermal expansion. So we have a empty container of energy to be able to... Oh, it has just enough charge. So we could use a little bit of charge to get this chemistry set going. It also has a couple of potion shelves because as you'll see as we head downstairs, we will be obtaining a lot of chemicals. Ooh, look what I just found. So, another thing in carpenter's blocks are these carpenter's safes, and we just found an open blocks trophy called a slime, and I will show you what those are for. So basically, the carpenter's blocks are used to kind of hide these secret areas where you'll be getting these trophies, and those are another thing that you need for the trophy room that we will be seeing shortly. So we should have seen everything that we need to see here on the first floor. So now we will head to the second floor, which is where the explosion happened. So if we head down there, there we go. So you can see that there's a quest gate system currently blocking us from going in. And, you know, if we try to jump, we head back up. So there's really nothing to see here. But that's all we really need to do is actually visit the second floor. Now we need to visit the third floor. So the third floor is where the Victory Monument is. So there's a few places specifically to look. There's actually a smaller spatial storage cell here that will make smaller little zones for us to, usually for gaining resources. We need to go see the Victory Monument itself. There's an example of the secret, kind of like we accidentally found without even really trying up on the observatory level. And then we have to go check out the armory, which is where we can drop off unused armor and whatnot for posterity purposes. So let us first check out. So there's this ender chest. This ender chest is essentially designed for you to store your spatial I/O disks so that you don't lose them, because it would be very, very bad if you lost them. So this is kind of the area where the spatial I/O area where smaller areas will be used to gain materials. So, and this is the operation of it. And this actually has a full leadstone energy cell available to it. So basically, kind of what we do is we provide power to the ME controller via the switch, and that will allow the power to go through. And then the spatial I/O port will then be energized and allow us to transfer information in. And if we look in this brass chest, we actually have our first disk. So this is an Applied Energistics I/O disk, and it's called Sugarcane Farm. I wonder what that's for. So let's grab all this other stuff so that we can bring it upstairs, because I'll probably use upstairs as my main base of operations. But let's, especially while there's still a little bit of energy in this Applied Energistics system, let's go ahead and put this Sugarcane Farm disk in, and I'll kind of show you how it works. So right now you can kind of see it's kind of empty there. But when I push this button, you'll see that the disk has moved over here, and now the disk is actually empty. And so I'll just put it in there ready to receive items. So basically, we've got our sugarcane farm. Just appeared out of nowhere. So it kind of flips what's there with what's it has inside of it. And so in this case, it flipped emptiness with a sugarcane farm. So we can go ahead and farm some sugarcane here. Lots and lots of sugarcane, which we really, really need, and I'll show you when we get to the main part of the quest lines. So got that. Make sure that we pick up any strays in the water. And there we go. Alright, and so we'll just leave this and let this grow because we don't have any other discs to use. This will eventually drain of energy. You can see right now the energy stored is still quite a bit, but it's draining pretty quickly. But we're currently not using any of this energy cell. So kind of the idea is you'll turn this on briefly and give it just enough energy to be able to switch this I/O port, and then you preserve the energy for the rest of it. So there we go. Alright, so that was spatial storage. Let's go check out the Victory Monument. So the Victory Monument is a little more complex than the normal Get All the Wools Victory Monument. So what you have here is we have this little slime trophy, and you'll see the names of all the various things here. You have one for the slime. You also have in the quest book, if you go back to the main thing, you have the Victory Monument quests. And so you can see that there's all kinds of things that we need to gather. All the stuff from Minechem, which I'll be showing you here in a second. Of course, you need the Victory Wools. But you also need things like thermal expansion metals, precious metals, the vanilla metals in block form, compression. So there's utilities that allow you to compress like cobblestone, dirt, things like that. So those will be, we need blocks of those. We need nether metals, end metals, and fantasy metals for metallurgy. We need all the trophies. We need drums of liquids, various liquids. So liquid XP, seed oil, milk, biomass, drum, water, lava. And so they all have to be in drums for the detection part. And then generators. So we picked up a solar generator in our inventory. We kind of need that to generate power because right now we have no other way. But eventually we will either have to make or obtain in some way all of the different engines from extra utilities. So we already have the one here, it's detected. And the same thing here is before we place the trophies, we want to make sure that it's detected that we've had this trophy. So it now detects that we've had the slime trophy. So we are good there. We'll go back to our original quest. And we will place our slime trophy in its spot right here. So you can see all the Victory Wools need to be up on this upper area. And then we have the barrels over here. We have ethanol, lava, stabilized redstone. This is a board to show all of the their storage monitors for all of the Minechem. If you've kind of noticed, it looks kind of like a periodic table of elements. So eventually we'll have to hook this up to an applied energistic system and show that we have stored a certain amount of all of the different elements that are available. So like some of these aren't displaying anything because they are not in Minechem, I'm assuming, but all the ones that are already set, so like cerium, praseodymium, I don't know how to pronounce these. Helium is like in the upper left-hand corner, or hydrogen is in the upper left-hand corner, helium is in the upper right, you know. So we'll have to hook all of these up and be able to show it. And then, like again, like you can kind of see this very, very obvious spot. It actually has some burnt quartz in it too, but we've got a mushroom trophy. Woo, mushroom. So let's make sure that our Victory Monument has detected the fact that we have a mushroom. Nope, it hasn't, so manual detect. Now it has. And let's go put our mushroom trophy up real quick. Mushroom, right there. Boom, we have a mushroom trophy. Alright, so that should give us the Victory Monument part of the tour. Nope. There's a very specific spot that it wants us to sit, right there. So things on the right here are the metals, mostly. So the various metals from metallurgy. And then all of the engines need to be sitting up there. So I think we might have actually passed the secret. So it says secret, 10 meters away. So you can kind of see one face always looks like this for these carpenters' safes. They're usually faced away from you so you don't notice them. But in this case, being that it's just a pillar, you kind of, if you're looking from this side, it's very easy to see. So if we open this up, we get a rewards bag, which can give you random stuff, which may be nice, maybe not. And then we have a spider trophy. So again, let's go through and find ourselves, make sure that it detected that we have the spider. And then let's go put the spider in its spot. So, spider. Alright, that's 3 trophies already. Woo! There's actually another one right here. I don't know where all of them are, but like a lot of the ones in the main areas like this. These golden lassos for extra utilities actually have some mini-me's in them, which are kind of interesting, except that they do nothing but pick you up. And then you have to dismount to get away from them. But they're kind of interesting. So there was no actual trophy in there, but there were some interesting things. And you can easily see this one because it's not placed correctly with the rest of the marble. So the last place we need to look, now that we have the secret, is down this way. And where's the ladder? There it is. We have Metallurgy 3 machines ladders, which are pretty cool. So as long as we can get some... And then here's the armory. So there's just tons and tons and tons of spots for us to put armor as we collect them, if we want to hold on to them in a more efficient way than putting them into a chest. So there we go. What else we got here? We got some energy cells, some cables. There's a donation station, and there is a radio. And we might get the radio thing at some point, but yeah. And then there's a little lever for the radio. So yeah, that's basically it for this floor. Let's take a look at our quest book. Back to Left Alone. So yep, we visited everything that we need to visit on this floor. And now there's a last floor, the 4th floor, which is called Building Area. 4th floor wasn't used very much with it being so newly constructed. All the researchers talked about how amazing the food will be when they finish the West Wing. So we head down one more spot. And yeah, so it's kind of a big open area. So this is one place where we could start building stuff, or we can build up in the observatory. And there's just a ton of building blocks and other furniture and whatnot here, including a cookie jar, some torches, some glowstone illuminators from thermal expansion, some redstone lamps, and the levers to activate those redstone lamps, a bunch of burnt quartz from extra utilities, and a bunch of quartz slabs in block form, and a few jungle cases from Bibliocraft and other furniture from Bibliocraft, and then this very interesting little thing called Buddy from Open Blocks. So you just place him anywhere, and he's just a little guy who is immortal, can't be damaged, and he will follow you around and kind of skitter like that, and he is an extra inventory. He'll also go and grab any items just lying on the ground. So say I just kind of drop this ME cable, he would go and eat it, and then you'll see that it's ended up in his inventory. So if his skittering gets too annoying, we will probably just bring him out when we need to, but he's kind of a good way to vacuum up items as we start collecting them. So kind of the decision first is, do we want to build down here, or do we want to build up near all of the main things going on upstairs? Because most of our work is going to be done in the big observatory on the 1st floor, but there is a lot of room here to build here on the 2nd floor, or on the 4th floor. So it's kind of a conundrum. I think we will take the torches, because we need those, but we'll probably leave most of this other stuff here for now, and head up. Well, let's see what's in our reward bag first. So this is a basic reward bag, so it's not a high chance of getting anything cool, but let's see what we get. We got a time machine with Infinity 1 enchant. Basically, what this is a engine from Forestry that you can wind by right-clicking it. And so, essentially, it's a very simplistic engine that doesn't require fuel that you can use with machines. So, like the machines up here in this area, we could actually power these guys with this time machine, and not have to provide fuel for it. So it's actually a pretty good starting reward, because now we don't necessarily have to work with the solar generator all the time. We can have a dedicated area, say even like downstairs in the 4th floor, where we can provide energy just by right-clicking. I actually haven't checked this thing, but this looks very suspicious. Yeah, this is actually one I haven't found before in previous plays, but it's the pig. It's the pig trophy. We need the pig trophy. I need a block that I can stand on that I can break later, which I don't have right now. Because as you can see, the best we have is a crescent hammer for a tool. So we can't necessarily just be placing blocks down wherever we want. Anything in here? No. No, there's nothing in here. There is a tuberous flux capacitor, which can give us some temporary energy boosts if we run out. Although we have the solar generator, which basically is unlimited energy. Yeah, I want that pig really, really bad. I guess maybe I can just place a block and we'll just have to break it later, I guess. That works. So yes, I really want the pig. Pig. Alright, the pig trophy. The great pig trophy is ours. So let's make sure that we are going to get a reward for this. Victory monument. Trophies. Auto detect. Alright, pig trophy. We have... Woo! Yay, pig trophy. So let's go put the pig trophy in its rightful place. I'll have to remember that for my regular game, unless we get farther than I'm at currently, which it's possible. Like, I haven't played too many hours into it, so yeah. So we don't really have to worry about mobs in the main areas. They're pretty well illuminated, or they're made with blocks that can't spawn creatures. So it's just when we start building inside here, or not building, because there's a lot of things you can't put into or leave in the spatial area, so you can't really like make a base out of it. Engines and things like that really corrupt the system. So, but you know, when we have something open in here, mobs will definitely be spawning in this place, and they may come and try and take over the observatory level. And so we don't want that to happen. Yeah. But we don't have to worry too much about that. So, like, a couple other places, there's one up there, there's one bunch of other places. We'll probably save a lot of the other places for later in case you're interested in playing this map. You might not want all those spoiled right away. But no guarantees, especially if we get close enough to actually complete the entire monument, which, depending on if we want to play other games or not, like, it could be possible. So, but yeah, if we're going to be able to complete the monument, then we have to find all of those things to actually complete it. So, yeah. Alright, so we finished the tour. It's actually what's called a repeatable quest. So if we are in bad need of food, we can always go back and do the tour again and get another cookie. But we will claim our first cookie now. Woo, cookie. So we've actually already completed a couple of the first quests, because I figured there's no need to go back down to the 3rd floor after we've to do this stuff. So first thing we needed was to get a backup power supply that was found on the 3rd floor, which happened to be the solar generator that I was talking about earlier. So once we have that, we're actually given basically the tools to create a system that allows the solar generator to gather energy during the day, and then when the daylight sensor turns off, it will then put that energy out to whatever's connected to it. So usually it'll be the redstone energy blocks, which we don't have any of yet because it's a quest reward farther down the road. So we claim this reward, we get a bunch of stuff, including the solar generator. So the second one is we need some type of food supply. So basically, there was a sugarcane farm that should be loaded up into the spatial I/O port. It was in a chest next to it, but you know, close enough. And it tells us how to use it, which we've already done. And then we had to collect a certain number of sugarcane, 10. And by doing this, we get a decomposer guide, which is how to use the MineChem decomposer, a reward bag, and a bed that allows us to set the time. Well, set the time of day at least. So we will claim reward. And then we have another quest. So this is the quest that will get us our first spatial I/O disk for the observatory, which is called the inclusion table. So basically this is just showing us how to use the decomposer and to use the decomposer to create sucrose out of the sugarcane that we have obtained. And that's basically going to be our main source of food for a while, until we can get the materials we need for a farm of some kind. So first step is let's get our bed down, because we're going to need to start charging up this the solar engine. And usually for the start of it, I usually put the solar engine down here, and it will start soaking up energy. So over here we have that leadstone energy cell that just has 5,000 left, and we have the chemical decomposer. And then we have also a microscope, which we can use to determine what items will be decomposed into, or how items are synthesized. So we'll pull these things out, and I think we are going to make, and so we'll grab these guys too. I think we're going to make our home down on the 4th floor. I made my home up here on the 1st floor in my other save, and so just as a we put the shelf in a shelf. So as a change of pace, we're going to head down into the 4th floor, and we will kind of build our base there, which includes our mine chemistry set. We're going to take it from its rightful place and head downstairs. So you can see there's a carpenter's safe here that has a ghast, and 2 more lassos for 2 more mini-me's. We have like a mini-me army. I actually don't know what mini-me's do, except pick you up when you place them out. So we'll have to find that out together. So yeah, so we have these burnt quartz blocks that we can kind of use as a table. So we'll kind of make a square table like that. For now, we'll use the torches that we have to kind of light up this side. Although since these are quartz slabs here, mobs generally, as far as I've been able to tell, don't spawn on them. So this is just more so that we can see what's going on. So there we go. Let's see what we got here. So we have the gas trophy we have to take back at some point. We can stack those marble pillars together. We actually have a bunch of chests in this chest. So let's grab those out and start just kind of filling chests up with all the stuff we have in here, so that we only use what we need, or have with us what we need, although we'll want to see what's in our reward bag. So actually we want to keep the ghast with us, because we'll go turn that in shortly. So let's see what's in the reward bag first. Some mushrooms. That's nice. So as soon as we get some dirt somewhere, we will be able to make mushrooms and have mushroom soup as a food source. So hey, that's not a bad reward at all. It's something that we do not have access to currently. So we need the leadstone energy cell, the microscope, just so that we can kind of see what this thing is. We need the sugar cane, because that's what we're going to decompose. So we get all the sugar cane. And then we need the decomposer itself. So those are all the items we need. And let's make ourselves some mine chem food. So we'll place the chemical decomposer here. We'll put the... I'm trying to remember which way this thing ends up facing. Nope, it faced the right way. So if you take a piece of sugar cane and put it in here, you will notice that there's kind of 3 elements that will be coming out: sucrose, hydrogen, and oxygen. So, and then you can go from chemical synthesis machine to chemical decomposer. So it has a 65% chance of dropping each of these sets of things, where it requires 1,000 energy if you have these items in this configuration to make sugarcane. So we could actually make sugarcane from chemicals, but in this case we are decomposing it into sucrose. So we'll place... Oh yeah, and then so this thing's currently out of energy, so we have to place the leadstone energy cell right here. So it has 5,640 left. That's plenty for the chemical decomposer. Forget which color is which. But we will want to make sure that we turn it off if there's any energy left in the end. So we're going to do that. So one of the other suggestions that are is in the book, but I'm not going to read it, is if you want a higher chance of getting just sucrose, if you just care about the food, you don't care about the hydrogen or the oxygen, then you can craft this into sugar. And if we go over here to here, you can see that we have a 75% chance of getting sucrose per item that we decompose through this method. So by basically sacrificing our ability to get the hydrogen and oxygen, we can get a slightly larger chance of getting just sucrose. So we'll dump those in there, and we've got ourselves a good stack, at least, of sucrose, which is the important part. And then we got these other chemicals that we'll be using later. Let's see if there's anybody in the chat room at this point. Nope, just me. All right, cool. So it's about 11:30, so we're about a half an hour into the stream. This is for Extra Life 2014. So don't forget, if you are interested, all the links will be below for how to donate, how to join if you want, and yeah, enjoy. So, well, we have a piece of sugar still in here. So we're going to kind of hold on to these two items because once we get the book for MineChem, so if we do at MineChem, there's actually a book that you can create once you get glass, so we'll need some sand first, that you can actually, it's called a chemist journal, and it's a way to record the things that you get out of your microscope and be able to use them for the decomposer and the its chemical synthesis machine. So we'll put those back in the chest, and then one of the things was we needed to make enough sucrose, so that quest should be complete now. Oh, we got a manual detect. Okay, so it has been created. So we have to choose between these two rewards, brass chests or a reward bag. And the reward bag, I think, is basic, so it's not necessarily good. I'm going to go with the brass chests, mainly because reward bags are easy to come by, especially in the beginning. They give you a bunch of basic ones, whereas these brass chests hold a lot of stuff, and so it just makes it a lot easier to keep things organized when you have larger inventories to work with. So, claim reward, and then we get the inclusion chamber. So the inclusion chamber is going to be our first disc in the main area, so that is exciting. So we have these brass chests that we can kind of put actually in between these chests, so we have even more storage space for now. Oh yeah, so since this is going to be the chemistry lab, up against this wall is where we will put the chemicals when we're not using them. So the hydrogen and the oxygen will head in there. We'll put some of the sucrose. Yeah, we'll put our extra sucrose in here too, so that we know where it is. And now we will head up and put the gas trophy in, and then we will show you the full power of Applied Energistics. So, up. So, yeah, so basically, sucrose, it only fills half a heart, but it also gives you a speed boost for a certain amount of time. And so you need a lot of sucrose. So that's also why we're kind of leaving that there, is we may be going through a lot of sucrose really fast, because it also has like no saturation. So, Gast. Let's check and make sure that it has given us credit for obtaining the Gast. Yep, it has. So, so we can put the Gast in its spot. So wolf, chicken, cow, creeper, skeleton. Nope. There it is, Gast. Alright, Gast trophy. That is 5 trophies so far. Woo! Alright. So you can see we've lost a half a hunger, so I can show this to you. Alright. So it only did the half a hunger, even though that's all we had. It still would be all it would have done. But it gives us a speed boost for 45 seconds also. So, woo, much faster. Alright, so any of these that we're not using will go in the ender chest, so they're protected. And then we head up here, and we will use it. So, I didn't have to put it in there, but just as kind of a note. Alright, so, spatial I/O port. Put it in here, push the button. It obtains just enough energy, and all of a sudden, once all the chunks load, yeah, there we go. So once all the chunks load, you'll see there's an entirely new world in here. It's full of Certus quartz pillars and marble stairs. So this is our first world that we will be exploring, and we have a quest for it, Inclusion Chamber. So it talks about the bigger spatial cells being used in this, the observatory, and how to use the controls. So, and it says the Inclusion Chamber contains many resources that I can use to repair the station. There shouldn't be any disturbances in the chamber, ... And so our first quest is to get to the dirt container, which has dirt, which is probably good. We probably want dirt for some type of farming ability. So, yeah, let's head down here and check it out. Our skitterer. Let me head down here. And then we look back behind here, and there's stuff. So there's a rewards bag for looking behind things, another full leadstone energy cell, a splash potion of healing, an eye of ender, some skeleton skulls, dispensers, some sorting pipes for extra utilities, so that might be good to use later, a music disc, and some coins. And coins are kind of used for getting extra stuff later on. There's some crafting CPUs set into the walls here. We'll probably grab those on our way out. Let's see what's in this reward bag. Ooh, a set of copper stuff. So that's cool. So some copper leggings, some copper chest plates, some copper boots. It's more armor than we got now. Copper shovel, so it's our first tool. And a copper hoe, which if we had stuff to plant would be really nice. So let's put on our armor for now. And since we're going to a dirt spot, it'll probably be good. And I don't know why those are taking forever to load chunks correctly. Ooh, listen to those sounds. So there's obviously mobs around here, but we have found what I'm assuming is the dirt container. Yep, we have visited it. So we get a reward of leather pants. Well, we've already got better pants than that. So those will be going to the armory at some point. We also get to pick a shovel of our choice. There really is I don't know which one is the best. This one I've had the best luck with. Definitely this black steel one does not last nearly as long as the Selenegil shovel. So that's the one I always pick, because it definitely lasts until we finish digging out this container. Because that's kind of our next step. Well, we have kind of this special quest called Find Seabiscuit, where there's this pasture somewhere in here that we can find, and we'll get some horse armor and stuff for finding it. But in the main quest line, we have digging for saplings. So they've hidden a bunch of saplings in this dirt, and we actually get a furnace, some bone meal, or bones that we will be turning into bone meal. And then we have some jungle saplings that we can choose from, including oak and spruce, but we'll find oak and spruce in the dirt pile, just by creating one oak wood. So we have to at least find one oak sapling to be able to produce the oak wood. And yeah, you can hear them making noises down there. So yeah, let's start with our copper shovel, since that one isn't nearly as good anyway. So, and you can kind of hear Buddy going around and trying to take our stuff. as it falls to the ground. But we'll definitely be using this dirt for other things. And kind of look around cautiously. So kind of the way I do this part is I make sure that this place is well lit on the top. I then use dirt, because we're going to get so much of it anyway. I use dirt to fill out this upper area. Like just the upper part, so we can leave like a little gap here. And then I start on one end. Oh, first thing I do is I come over here. So down here is actually a mining area that we will get to later. But then inside this chest is some steel ladders, and we'll want those steel ladders. And we actually have our first couple of very damaged pickaxes available to us also. And some torches. You can never have too many torches. So, but we really want the steel ladders, because the idea is we'll be digging out this dirt, but we want this platform here, essentially, to allow us to walk to the various areas. And so we'll want just a ladder on like one corner to allow us to go up and down. And so I kind of make myself a staircase here, being very cautious because I hear those mobs. Ooh, yeah, so you gotta be careful of those holes. So let's make ourselves a stairway here. So we're just going until we hit the bottom of the dirt clod. Yep, so there we go, we found the bottom. And then we'll make sure to light it up as much best we can. And then we just kind of cautiously start digging this out. Oh, there's our first baby spider mob. Takes no damage, or takes very little damage. Oh, and another spider is in there somewhere. But it's kind of glitching out right now. Oh, because he's kind of stuck. Because he's kind of too wide, but he's in a one wide area. So he is not happy at the moment. Oh no, I guess he does have a spot up there. It just keeps thinking that he can come down. So we'll have to deal with him later. But it doesn't look like he can actually get down here. It's just glitching. But he's working extra hard. And yeah, there's just like spiders. The sound of spiders everywhere. Oh, there's another spider up there. Buddy, protect me! Alright, so there's another baby spider. So we're just kind of slowly making our way around here. Oh, there's a skeleton dying. I'm not particularly sad about that. I'm sorry. I just can't be sad about a spider. Well, hello there. You're my first watcher of the stream. In all the times that I've talked about Minecraft, have you ever actually played it? So for those who will be watching this later on the YouTube channel, my mother has joined the stream as my first watcher for this event. So we got some sand spiders too, and this very interesting thing called a dirt creeper, which when they explode, not only do they damage you, but they also make a giant dirt ball that can suffocate you at the same time. So we've used up our copper shovel, so we will be using our... Oh, no, apparently we didn't finish it. Where is my... That was a weird glitch. Okay, so we got our good shovel now that we're going to use. And deal with this creeper before it explodes. Oh, hey, we found our first chest. So it looks like, hey, and it's the oak sapling one. So it's the one we absolutely needed to find. So we have our oak saplings. We could just be finished, light up the area that we've dug out, but we don't want to have to deal with the sounds. And so we're going to dig out this entire thing and need some sucrose. Alright, so we are filled up. And it looks like we've made the rounds. So we have gone completely full circle, so let's start digging out the center of this. We can still hear some mobs around, so we gotta be careful. But and we also have some skeleton skulls. Hey, look, we found our second chest. So this one's got some birch saplings. Woo! And we'll grab the chest also, so we have it. We'll grab the So, is there anything bad in here? Nope. It looks like we got something down there. Ooh, there's a chest down there. Oh, and there's another spider. So as you can see, there's no saturation in sucrose, so I lose hunger really, really quickly. It's like basically just getting a sugar rush. There's no protein, no carbs. Well, I guess sugar is a carb, but no complex carbs. So, still being careful. Dig out the center of this place. Why aren't you doing your job, guy? Oh, because you're kind of stuck on this skeleton skull. Go do your job. Thank you. Alright, let's see here. Grab these skeleton skulls. And then, do we want to jump down there now? We'll wait until we finish digging the rest of this out, because there's still some mobs in here we need to take care of. So the reasoning behind me setting up the top level the way I did is now that layer that you see of dirt that I just can't quite reach is that one top layer. So we can literally get all of the dirt except for that very top part from down here, from the ground level. And so it makes it really easy to dig up the rest of this. So just digging around. And there should be one more chest somewhere in here. Oh, I just heard... Oh, a spider jumped and fell down over here. Well, that's less work for me. The spiders want to fall down and give me string. Tons and tons of dirt. But one of the things we need is compressed dirt by like ×4. So that's a lot of dirt. So that's why we also want to make sure to get it all. Is that one of the victory conditions will be needing to have a bunch of dirt compressed into one block. So I'm not just doing this to make it as boring as possible for the streamers. I'm doing this for future endeavors, because it's going to have to be done eventually if we are going to get victory. And hey, speaking of victory, here is the last chest. Oh, and we're out of space. Well, we can get the bone meal at least. What can we get rid of right now? Guess we don't really need the copper hoe. So we'll kind of leave that chest hanging for now. But yeah, we're kind of out of inventory space, so we're going to need to go and drop some stuff off soon. Probably before we even finish. Well, actually, no, never mind. We have Buddy. Of course. Buddy can have all the dirt. There we go. Now we can break this chest open and obtain the items. There we go. Alright. So we just keep digging up through. You can hear Buddy eating the the dirt as it comes to the ground if I don't pick it up immediately. Hope I can hear a skeleton again. I wonder if my mother has abandoned me. She hasn't replied since she said hi. Oh, there's the skeleton. Found the skeleton. Found where he was hiding. Haven't heard any spider sounds, so I think we got all of those. There was a skeleton sound, and I think we found that, and I don't hear any more of those. So, yeah. So hopefully that's all the mobs in the area, at least. And then we'll kind of finish digging this up, and then take it all back to the main base. And start planting a tree. Although I don't know, probably where would be a good place for a tree? I guess like for the quest at least, I can just do what I usually do, which is I actually plant a tree on the dirt level above us, and just quickly bone meal it so that we can finish the quest reward and get to the next step. Let's see what we got here. Digging through. We should be almost done. Yeah, browser froze. That's a likely story. I bet you watching me dig dirt is so fun and amazing. You probably just thought the browser was frozen because I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah, we just got this little chunk left. My mom just replied, "Bite me." Alright, so the dirt is completely dug out. So we'll have plenty of dirt to make compressed dirt later. Although we still don't have enough. We'll have to expand it out. So there we go. Build our way out using ladders. There we go. Alright, we are out. Okay, let's walk away far enough that the skitterer will actually come and join us up here. We might have to actually walk out of the area completely to do that. Yeah, see, like, just healing a little bit of hearts, like, makes me have to... There we go. Now he's back. More dirt for you. So it's a live stream. I can't cut out the things that that are boring as part of the game. Everything is live. You never know what's going to happen. So let's make ourselves a tree. So we need an oak sapling. And then the bone meal to make it grow faster. And we have ourselves a tree. Woo, wood. So we got our one piece of oak wood that we needed for our quest. So let's turn it in. So we got our oak wood. We have to pick one of these. Well, we already got spruce saplings, and we already got oak saplings. So obviously, it only makes sense to get 10 jungle saplings as a reward. Alright, and that opens up a whole bunch of different quests. So there's a time to mine, which means go down to the mine that's nearby. But there's also kind of these tutorial things that we can do. So these correspond to these areas over here, which we don't really have the room. We need to give him more stuff. Here, buddy. Have some more stuff. There we go. Alright, now we have the room. Alright, so we have to make these various mobs that can help us if we choose to use them. So, stone turret. If we take this dispenser, so you take a piece of cobblestone, you take a fence post, and then you put on top of those a dispenser, you will create a stone turret. And the stone turret will attack any hostile mob that gets in its range. And we can create better ones with better materials, but this is the basic one. And the object is of the quest is to create him and then destroy him, which will take just a second. My mother is nitpicking me and telling me to stop touching my nose. Have fun moving. Alright, so that's the turret. Now we have a crafting golem. So they give us 2 of them for some reason, but you just need 1. So if you take a crafting table and you place a skeleton skull on it, you get this cute little guy that will follow you around after you. Sometimes you have to punch him to get them out of the ground. But yeah, so kind of like Buddy here, he'll kind of follow me around and I can use him as a crafting workbench. But again, we kind of have to destroy him to finish the quest. They just kind of show us how to use them, and then, or how to make them, and then they make us destroy them. So in here, we have a pumpkin, and we have a sword. And so this one is probably the more useful of the golems that they show you how to make. So you need 2 pieces of soul sand, and you need a pumpkin on top, and you create a bound soul, who looks just like Herobrine. And you can actually give him weapons and armor. So just like that. And he will go and try to attack things that are hostile. They're supposed to follow you, although I've had trouble with that. Like, it hasn't always worked. But again, give me back that sword, because I have to take you out. And he drops like 4 gold ingots after you defeat him. So those are the 3 golems that they show you how to make. And so we had to kill them to get the items, and basically they give you the items that you need for making more of them. So claim rewards and then the manual.